So let's talk. Like I like what my man is saying. I like how he acknowledges not being the best version of himself. Anybody who's always trying to achieve improvement and always trying to achieve that next level of evolution within themselves, I think you're always gonna achieve something in life. You know what I'm saying? Like you're always gonna reach some point where you're gonna be happy with it, as long as that's the mentality that you keep. It's dope that you feel that way, because I feel that way. I feel like that's how you achieve anything in life. You can never think that you're there. You always have to think that there's steps to be made, and that keeps you waking up every morning hungry, ready to go, ready to, you know what I'm saying, ready to get it. So I like that. I like a lot of what you're saying. The only thing that I'm gonna point out and say is I think that I feel like your flow is there, but it's definitely on the path of improvement. But what I'm trying to get at is I just feel like syllable wise, it's like maybe an extra syllable here, less syllable there, maybe switching around the way that you say it or wording it, and it's gonna be a lot more smooth. Now, it doesn't mean that every line has to connect non-stop. Like, there's nothing wrong with pausing in between lines, because sometimes you might connect two lines and pause, and like you can mix it up. That doesn't necessarily matter. That's just up to you, is however you like to do it, what your style is. But I just think that it's gonna be more smooth. I like the bad dream line. That's actually fire. Now, what I also wanted to say was, what I say as far as like, I would do this for the flow to sound like, it's never end all be all. I like to make sure that I put that out there a lot. Like, I'm just giving my opinion. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that I have the say on what's gonna be dope and what's not gonna be dope. It's just an opinion thing. It's just based on what I enjoy hearing, what I think is pleasing audibly. You know what I'm saying? The whole deal. So I just want to make sure that I put that out there, because I'm not trying to ever hate on anybody when I break down and I say that I like this or I don't like that, or, you know what I'm saying? Because it's to each their own. What is good, my friends? We getting back up with the homie 10K. I know what I was jumping myself into when I did this, but it's Randolph Sucks is what the title is. So it looks like this track season is still alive, baby. And you guys already know I'm always here for it. Let's talk rhymes, lyrics. Let's talk real quick before we get into the rest of this. Let's talk real quick. I respect where you coming from, homie. I respect it. I like what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You guys might even see me with this track at some point. I'm not at Randolph. I don't know who yet, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see whose food I'm gonna be coming for. Let's get back to talking about the homie 10K. So, like I said, you definitely are improving. You're improving, homie, from the last reaction that we did. But like I said, just keep working on the flow, keep working on figuring out the wording and stuff like that. And I feel like listening to certain rappers that you really, really respect, and just try to understand how they wrote to it. Write something yourself with their style, and just try to, just initially to try to understand where exactly they're hitting. And then from there, you will start to mold your own style, and you're gonna understand where the snare works. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna hit those spots. You're just gonna hit them so much better. That's just my advice. That's all. But as far as what you're saying, I'm here for it, baby. I'm definitely here for it. Like, now, some of the things I like what you're saying with some stuff, you're falling back to it being a real basic. And listen, it's tough, because like, I'll say some stuff that's basic, but it really depends on how you do it. Like, when I say something really basic, I feel like I really play with the scheme, and I try to make sure that the overall sound of it is just very appealing and it draws you in. So even though I'm not dropping a very complex punch, you're still like, yo, that was fire. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was very simply put together. So that would be my only advice. Is not so much don't put stuff like that in there, but just you gotta build it differently. You gotta build it's a whole other animal if you want that to come across in the proper way. That's all I'm saying about that. But when you have some shit to say, bro, I'm with it. Because like I said, I like the new age line. I would have worded it a little bit differently, but that was a legit punch right there. I fucked with that. I'm just saying. So overall, this wasn't bad. I like that he's taking his shot. I like that, because I might be taking my shot here soon. You guys might see something. I don't know who yet. But one thing that you are improving on a little bit, but you need to just continue to work at, is that flow. The flow is gonna really tighten and bring everything else together. The delivery, the cadence, like everything is gonna come together better. The lines are gonna hit harder. You got some dope punches in there. Now, I want to say, like I said in the last one, some of the flow is gonna be the writing style, and I'm not saying that you're writing wrong, but I just keep falling back to how I did it, and I'm not saying that it's the answer for everybody, and I'm not saying that, because some people will get molded to a style. You don't want to copy somebody, so just it's hard to really, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but that was what worked for me. Find somebody that you really respect, that you like, you're interested in the way that they flow, and and then try to write something in their style over a beat that they've done, just to get the hang of it, just to understand where you're hitting on the snare with the rhymes, where the multi-syllables are, where the inner rhymes are placing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just understand the way that they're structuring it, and from there you can start to meld that over into other beats, into your own style. And I'm telling you, man, the improvement is there. The improvement will be there. What is good, my friends? So we jumping into a lineup today. Homie 10K bringing along HiRez and Blindside. This shit gonna be fire. Now 10K reached out to me a couple times. Now his last track that we just did was the Randolph diss, and I wasn't hating on it, because I never hate. I like to give constructive criticism. I like to help people improve, and so I gave him as many tips as I possibly could. And from what I understand with the discussion I had with him, other channels did the same thing. And now he's back and he's like, listen, bro, I took all that information you guys gave me, I worked on it, and I think you guys are gonna like this product a little bit better. So I got so much respect for that. Like, you know how many people get told that, like, you could have did this better, the flow is a little off here, and they get mad at you? This dude is not that way at all. 100%. He's just like, yo, I appreciate the criticism, I'm gonna work on that. Like, he is literally, he is what you need to be to improve in anything in life. You need to be able to accept that sometimes things aren't gonna come out perfectly, and people are gonna tell you what maybe you can improve on, what you did wrong. And instead of being like, well, F you, bro, you know, my shit was fire. You know what I'm saying? Take that advice, go work on it, and then actually be fire. You know what I'm saying? So I got so much respect for 10K. This dude is going about it the right way. Now, it's only been a short period of time since the Randolph track till now. I'm gonna be completely honest. So I don't know how much improvement you can make in that small amount of time. But if it's here, baby, listen, if he made a big step of improvement from then till now, which, like I said, wasn't a very long period of time, I'm gonna be impressed. We'll see, homie. Listen, I'm backing you though. I'm backing you. You know I rock with you, so we'll see what this is all about. All right, hold up. I don't need to cut off your line or anything, but we got to talk right away, homie. We got to talk right now. So I will say, this is definitely a big improvement from the Randolph diss track. I feel like I said in that track, I had to pause. Like, I feel like a lot of these bars, like, you're just a little bit off beat, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta try to word the syllable, like, you know what I'm saying? Just fix the writing a little bit, and it'll all just kind of come in line. And that wasn't very long ago. My man he's on beat now. Like I said, he's gonna continue to work at it, and that on beat is gonna become a very smooth, fluid on beat, and it's gonna sound really dope. But this, like, from then till now, that's a pretty dope improvement right there. I gotta give homie some props. Let's go back a little bit. Let's catch this. I'm here for the Breaking Bad lines too, so. My man has found the beat. You all over it right now, homie. I'm digging this. I jinxed you. No, that's okay. Cause listen, you found where you needed to find. Exactly what I was trying to tell you. You found that. Now you got to work on it a little bit when you speed up the flow like this. Cause I feel like what happened was, when you got to the "wanna use my freedom," you like "wanna use my," or I don't remember what word it was, but somewhere within those "wanna use my free," like you hung on the word a little bit too long, and I feel like it was because you realized that you were slightly off from where you needed to be, and but it just threw you more off. So this is the only part so far. Like, other than this, I'm definitely digging it. My man is making some improvements, so let's keep it rocking. Let's see if you catch back up with the beat here. This is what I'm saying right here. So he's right back. He's right back on beat. He's hitting it perfectly, and I like what he's saying. What gives destiny the right to tell me what's best for me? I'm on board with that all. Like, this whole, you have a destiny. Nah, I ain't got a destiny unless my destiny is my goals. My goals are what I got. You know what I'm saying? My focus, my direction. Like, I don't believe that whole, like, oh, it's fate. No, I'm not on board with that. But then he says my tracks are gold, treasury. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I feel you there. I decide what gets to be. So far I gave music my heart, but now it's time to give the rest to me. Yo, my man, okay. My man, listen, he took all the advice I gave him and he's stepping it up like tenfold. I like that. I like that. Yo, like, okay, he switched it up. This is the place that I grew up, and you two the place that I blew up. Like, okay, listen, baby, you working on it. You working out, homie. You work. So overall, bro, your verse, it's a significant jump from that Randolph diss, which to me is very impressive, because that wasn't that long ago. That tells me that you're serious about your craft, that you really are taking this information that you're being given, and you are trying to improve. And I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. I got a lot of respect for that, homie. I like what my man is saying. So this is 10K that's going first. So I've done a few reactions to 10K, and we've talked about like some different improvements and things that he can do. Now I don't know if he recorded this after the other reactions that I've done to him or whatever the case, but this is probably the best that I've heard him yet. and I like it. I'm definitely here for it. He's mixing up the flow a little bit. He gets a little bit faster at times, a little bit slower. He's hitting the beat at better, like he's way more, like he's hitting it where I would personally hit it. Like I said, once again, that doesn't mean that that's where you need to hit it, but it audibly is starting to sound more pleasing. I like where he's going with it. I like that he's taking all the constructive criticism the different reactors have given him, and he's really putting it to play, and I respect it, baby. I respect it. Like right there was probably his best string, and then he did a little pause before the is distorted so it would fit in. If he would have added like a syllable in there, my man, listen, this is like night and day difference from some of the other reactions I've done. In my opinion, I like it. I like where my man is going. Let's go, baby. Ooh, you had your chance and missed it. There's no escaping me like Brexit. See, I like it. And he's bringing the lines. I like it. I like it. So another thing that you have to keep into consideration when you hear someone with an accent rap is there's different syllable connections that are going to create that smooth flow than it would for somebody with like my accent, or with, like, I say accent because if you don't live here, I probably have an accent to you, but you know what I'm saying? So there's different, it's weird. It's hard to explain, but you get a feel for it as you work with it. My demons show themselves in forms of violence. I like this. I like it. Now, the only thing I would say is where you ended it, there, you could have hit it in a place where it would have, like, right with the beat, boom, we've all got our demons. I just think that would have played a little bit better in it, but otherwise, this was a huge jump up from any other reaction I've done to you. I like where it's going. I'm here for it, baby. I'm definitely here for it, man. I like to see improvement, and I like to see good people continue to just do better in life. I like it. I'm here for it. Homie, so listen, the flow, once again, you've stepped it up from the last track. Without a doubt, you've stepped it up. There's like, at least so far, we got to get through the verse a little bit. I'm going to go back a little tiny bit. I wasn't paying as much attention to the lyrics. I was, but I just kind of wanted to see where you were hitting with the flow, because I know you hit me up about that. I like it. I like where you're moving, homie. I keep saying you are improving every single track. I like this. There's no parts, at least that I've heard yet, where I'm like, you fell off a little. Like, this is all on point right now. This is all on. Yo, I'm liking. So the only thing I would point out, real quick, homie, the only thing I'd point out is the everybody line. When the everybody part was just slight. But other than that, this is fire, bro. That you sped the Ivy up. That's the only thing, though. And I'm not saying this because I don't want to just point out but it's just like there's a lot of good in this, and that was the only bad that I've heard. So I felt like I wanted to point that out so you can see how little there is compared to like the first reactions we did. Where I'm not saying bad, but like just things that I can be like, you should improve that. You could do this. There's a lot less of that. No, like I like it, homie. So you're going down the right path because like you're tightening up the flow. And as I know I keep saying a lot, I feel like I say some of the similar things, but like it's because we're getting closer to those points now. But like your flow is way more on point than it's been in any of the past tracks that I've done from you. I'm liking it. I like where you're going with it. Now what I want to say is that you're using multi-syllables, but you're using them mainly at the very ends of the line, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What I want to say though is, as you can now, you don't have to jump right into this right away. I mean, that's up to you. But like I would say, continue to do like you're doing on this with a few songs, and then get to the point where you start trying to add in some internal multi-syllable rhymes. Where like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're like, maybe it's something like, so I subtract their clothes, my passions froze. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, bro, I'm not trying to make sense. I'm just trying to tell you, you know what I mean? Like in one line, rhyme. Almost like a Vin J. Vin J does that quite well. He does it like almost bar for bar in some of his, he does it very, very well. But that would be the next step to me. We start to mix in some of those multi-syllables, because that's kind of how I did it. I started to mix those in, and then I started to play with the placement of them. Instead of it just being like rhyme in one line, then it would be like I would have like a rhyming word, a different rhyming word, and then the next bar you rhyme those words, or you mix it, and then you start to get a little more intricate with it at that point. But this, I'm liking this so far, homie. I'm definitely liking this. Yo, I like that. I like how he ended it. Just know I love y'all, and it's not conditional. That's how I feel about you, homies. All my homies out there, I feel the same way about you guys. I'm with you, 10K. I'm with you. So, all right. So this is, I like this. So I want to say, steps up from, like I said, every track that I've been reacting to from homie 10K steps up. You definitely are doing your thing. You're putting in the work. You're improving every single time. You're taking it seriously. That's honestly the most impressive part to me, and the thing that I tie into the most is that you're taking it seriously. Now, you're making good improvement in short periods of time. I'm gonna be real with you. You're making good improvements in short periods of time, because I feel like when I was obsessively rapping like every day, all the time, it took me a good amount of time to really get on the beat properly, and then start to mold my own style out of it and everything like that. So I mean, you still got a ways to go as far as like I said, you're gonna start to mix up the rhyme schemes, the syllables and stuff like that a little bit more. Now that you got the flow down, and once it becomes more natural every single song, then it's gonna start to become, well, what can I do with it? And that's when you're gonna start to really have fun with this. But you're doing your thing, homie. There was a few, like maybe 2 spots I think throughout the whole song, like the everybody line, and there was one other line, I can't remember where it was, but it was like just slightly rushed, just a little bit, and it could have been a syllable thing. It could have been like just sometimes it's just that the whole line needs to be rewritten, and it's tough sometimes because it's hard to rewrite it and match what you want, and then sometimes you need to rewrite the lines prior to it because you can't match it, and it's a struggle sometimes. It's definitely a struggle, but you did it well. You didn't really fall off very much. You found a nice rhythm of like a nice style to just keep going boom, 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 and I liked it. The only other thing that I would say, like I was saying a little bit earlier, is mix up some of the longer syllable rhyming words with like smaller words. You know what I mean? Like delusional. You could do. You know what I'm like? I'm just throwing random shit out there off the top of my head. Don't judge me for this, please. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mix it up like that, and then go back to the bigger word. In my personal opinion, that will always come across better, and it opens up the amount of things you can talk about. Because then, as you switch up to different syllable or multiple words that can hit that same syllable count, you now open up whole different dialogues and things. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's definitely the functional way to do that. But otherwise, it's definitely fire, homie. Like I like the on point flow. I like the way that you were going over this. I like some of the shit that you were saying too. Like I said, even though you weren't mixing up some of the longer words with smaller syllable words and stuff like that, I liked, like, I can't remember the exact lines now, but there was a few. Definitely like the ending, like it's not conditional. I liked the scheme and how you meant to go through it and do it that way. I don't know. I like this. I definitely rock with this. So my man is, listen, okay, so my man, I like this lyric video. It's kind of dope how it like, yo, who made this? Who made this? This is fire. I like this. Yo, my man has definitely stepped his flow up significantly from the first couple of reactions that we did. Now, I like the flow on this. He's going a little bit faster. The smoothness is a little bit more there. I still think that whatever it was you had on the radio, homie, that shit was just bonkers. Like, that was still probably the best thing so far. I mean, I haven't heard the whole verse of this yet, but that thing, I'm still, like, I was impressed, man. I was extremely impressed. This is dope, and I like the way that you're going with the faster flow. I think, like, the only thing that I caught, like, a little bit was, like, it's almost like how you say you used to be in front of me. Like, it's almost like you pause on the used to be in front of me instead of letting it go through smoothly. And that was really it. There's only like 1 or 2 moments like that, but otherwise you're going through this flow smooth, and I liked it. Like right there a little bit with the become everything you want to be, but otherwise this is dope. Like, I like how you flow through. This is something you got, like the House of Fun. This is something you got to see. Like, I like the way you're flowing through this. All right, so really quick, let's go back really fast here. Now, the way that you were coming into this flow for a second here, I'm going to be honest, I got a little fishy with it. I felt like you almost got a little bit ahead of the beat, just a tiny bit. But then when you got to the Randolph part, I really liked how you switched that up. Like, I liked where you were hitting on that a lot. I like this. Where you're hitting right now, this is a dope flow, bro. You're switching up the flow more in this. So this might be more, might be a level above as far as like you're getting more technical, you're trying out different flows, and I like where you're going with them. As you continue to do them, they're just gonna improve more and more. So this is fire, because I feel like the first few times I reacted to you, it was pretty much just one flow, strictly throughout the beat. It was on beat, but it was like you had some moments where it was like, I got a little, and now not only are you a lot smoother on the beat, like pretty much completely throughout, but you're switching it up now. Like you're getting through 4 to 8 bars, and then boom, you're switching up the flow to go a little bit. I like that. I like that a lot. You ended it dope. That was fire, homie. I like this verse. There was a little portion in the middle where I thought it got a little tiny fishy, but the way that you were speeding up the flow, I don't know. I like it. I do like it. I like it, homie. You're definitely moving in the right direction. Now you're playing with multiple flows per track, which is a huge step up. Like, I don't know. I feel like you're definitely making a lot of progress quick, because I'm doing a reaction to you pretty much like every month, and it's significantly better every single time that I do it. I like where you're going, man. What is good, my friends? We back again with the homie 10K. Now this song, this is interesting. So it's featuring Ironik. I'm not gonna say I haven't heard this song. I've heard it because he actually got it on a legit radio station. And I'm always I can't remember what they were, but it's like a BBC. It was a big radio station. My man got it played on, and he actually hit me up. So I actually was on there on my phone while I was going through my day waiting for it to get played. And when it got played, I was extremely impressed. This is by far the biggest step that I've seen 10K take. This is absolutely, I just feel like his flow is the best that I've heard it. The beat really, really worked with him. He got another dope MC on it. The video, we about to watch it right now. Man, I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for the homie, man. He's making all these moves. I'm hyped for it. Let's just jump into this. Let's see what the homie's cooking with. Real quick, anybody that's heard any of my 10K reactions, or even if you just heard 10K and you haven't seen my reactions, any songs that you've heard from him, and I'm not saying they were bad, but you can't, this is such a leap in the right direction, man. I'm so happy for homie. I like to see the improvement, man. And dude, lyrically what he's saying is like the whole deal. This shit hits, man. This hits. Like, it led right into the singing so well. Yo, 10K, shout out to you, homie. As always, continue to polish it and work on it and stuff like that, but that was an extremely, it was a very smooth, like, you did your thing on this, man. You did your thing on this. You deserve to get some props for that right there. This song is just such a feel-good song. Like, this is some shit, like, I would love to, like, you just bump it when you just want it. I don't know. This is a good song, man. Like, this is really dope. Jamming out, like, I knew there was no verse toward the end. I'm just jamming at this point. I'm just jamming. Shout out to 10K, shout out to Ironik. This is a hot, yo, this is a summer jam right here, baby. This is summer, this is a legit summer jam. Like, play at the barbecues, the whole deal, man. Link down in the description. You gotta show some love to the homie. Let him know DuaneTV sent you. This is fire, man. This is absolutely fire, man. Definitely fire. I hope